If you think the French is a boring opening, you should watch this game. This is a very beautiful game from the Chess Groningen Festival 2023. It is Thomas Beertsen, a Dutch Grandmaster, against Zion Collen, also from the Netherlands. We jump right into it. It is the advanced French. And typically you play c5 to put pressure on a d4 square. Then you can play c3 to defend the d4 square. Now you can take and put a little bit of pressure on d4. But you can also go for queen b6 and also put pressure on d4. You play knight f3 to develop and put more defensives towards d4. Knight c6, very typical idea to just go for the d4 square. Bishop to d3, and now you might think you win this pawn. However, you have a little check here, and suddenly you lose the queen, which is not ideal for black. So this pawn is defended. It's also known theory. And Thomas castles here. If you want to attack in the advanced French, it is a really nice move to castle, because now your king is safe. You're 2 pieces into the game. And if you take and be a little bit greedy to take this pawn, you can. But now you have 3 pieces already into the game. This is a little bit weak. However, now you can start a really good attack in the French. So if you're an attacking player, this is a really good variation to go with. My goal is 100 subscribers within a month. Please help me and subscribe and like the video. However, on higher level, they will not take here, because that's not ideal. Bishop d7 is a really typical opening move in the French, because if you take now and you do the same little riddle, bishop b5 is no longer a check. So you are going into an endgame you really don't want to be in for white. It's already almost winning for black. Bishop to d7, rook e1, knight to h6. And now Thomas took, which is, in my opinion, a little bit harsh to give it a mistake. However, it's a little bit of a mistake because of the dark squares. Black keeps his dark square bishop and can control a lot of more dark squares in the future. It will open up to a little bit of an attack. However, positional, this will be a really strong piece. And therefore, taking is not that great. However, this is the best move. However, Zion took on b2. He wants the rook, and the bishop is hanging again. So he went back for to attack the queen, and now you have to take the rook. Because if you go back, you just lost an entire piece for one pawn, b2 pawn. And you will get a little bit more of a center. So you have to take here. And now you play queen to b3, and you try to trap the queen. That's the ideal move. Knight to a5 is a must move because you're attacking the queen and defending this pawn. Now you go back, because you might say, why didn't you go immediately? Because of this move. And suddenly this piece will be traded off. And then you have a really good position for black. You have the bishop pair, and the queen will get out as well. Go back, and now bishop to c5 is not an ideal move, because you can develop your piece and play rook, and then you can go with a knight, because you really want to take with the bishop. The knight is hanging. So rook to c8, rook c1, and now you're threatening to play knight to a3 to trap the queen. And castles, which is, in my opinion, a really bad mistake because of already this move. This is not ideal. Why would you allow this? So principles, the golden rules, why would you develop into this check? However, they're 2300, so they might know what to do. But sometimes they make really bad mistakes. And now you should have gone for a free pawn and then go for the attack. However, it's really a human move to play knight to a3. That's the plan all along, and you want to win the piece back. Because you're down 4 points in materials, you really want to get the points back. Now you're gonna take, this is a check, and you take back with the bishop, really important. You can take back with the queen, but then it's not ideal place, right? If you take back with the bishop, this is still targeting h7, and the bishop is really importantly defending the knight on a3. And in the future, it can go back. Now it's equal in material, but it's a really unbalanced position. D takes c3, which is, in my opinion, the worst mistake of the game, because you still allow bishop takes h7, and you're getting your king a little bit exposed to an attack. And this pawn is not that important. And now he probably missed knight to g5, and maybe the follow-up he missed because he played f6 to kick away the knight, which is viable if it has to go back. It's a really good move. However, he missed bishop to g8. Bishop to g8 is an absolutely stunning move, because if you take the bishop, it's checkmate, and if you take the knight, it's still checkmate. So it's really harsh to, well, f5 stops both moves. However, you have now bishop takes e6, and you're pinning here. So taking is good, and now you have a very big initiative. Because if you, well, you can take here probably. Oh, well, don't do that. So bishop h6. Now he sacrificed his bishop, which is the second best move. And don't go into grabbing here. And this is also not great, because you will lose contact with the attack, right? So you have to keep your queen here. So king h1, very nice move. Your king is completely safe here. There is no back rank issue, because you have to move the bishop, you have to take, and then there is a back rank. It's just too slow. Now you have to play f5, and now you're gonna take on f2. Even if the bishop was not here, probably queen f2 was still the best move. You really want to checkmate the king. He took the bishop, and now queen to h4, still threatening checkmate. So it's really attacking game. Rook f8, rook f7 was better. You can escape, and then you cover this with check, and because of here, now you're losing this with check, right? So therefore, this rook f7 was better. However, find the best move for white. You can stop the video and you can look for it. It's a brilliant move, so you can take your time. It's an absolutely amazing move. So if you found it, very nice. It's knight to b5. Absolutely amazing move. You give away your knight just to make room for your bishop. So if you take here, you can check, king to f8, bishop check. Absolutely stunning move. The knight is doing his job, the bishop is doing his job, and the queen is doing... They're all covering different squares, which is amazing. Now you have to play rook c5. Now you have to play rook e7. And this is checkmate. You don't want to take the rook, because it's pinned. It's really nice to just continue the game. Even later on, if the queen moves, then you can take on e7. But in this game, it's checkmate, which is amazing. But there is even more brutal move, which I prefer. You should always look for forcing moves. So the sequence I just showed you is more viable, and you should look for those. However, it's immediately bishop a3. Bishop a3 is not giving a check. It's not doing that much. However, you have to give up both your rooks again, because it's threatening checkmate. So if you move, it's checkmate. You're gone. So rook c5. You give up your rook. You might even be really harsh to take the other rook. So you have to give up both your rooks, and then it will be checkmate, because you cannot go away. So you have to move, and it's checkmate. However, you can do this also. Depends what you think, what's more fun. Really nice move. He played it also in the game, which is amazing. However, the opponent is 2300, and he saw all this. And he played knight to c4. And now he covers the square, which is also, and the knight is still hanging. But now you have this check, and you can go here. And now you have to go back. So maybe it's a little bit too fast. We go here, check, go here, check. With this sequence is really nice. Happens a lot of in the games. It probably will not be checkmate, this little sequence, but you win a lot of pawns and you probably win the game. However, only escape square, and because of knight b5, it's brilliant for a reason. It's covering, if you don't take the bishop, if you don't take the knight, it's covering this really important square. Because now you have this check, and you have to go back, and now not bishop a3 is checkmate, now bishop to g5 is checkmate, which is an absolutely stunning game. And this also happened in the game. I'm not sure if the checkmate happened. However, he probably resigned around here. And this is checkmate. Very beautiful game. So the French is apparently not really boring. I will show you more openings about French into the next video. Bye!